afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We have Bunny next door. This is our last live show of the day. So this is going to be our last look at the Fruits of Labour collection. So this launched yesterday, if you missed it. It's our brand new collection. So you can see exactly what we've got in here. Such a big collection that we've got for you. We're going to start off with the layered easel card shape. Now this is one that you will use all year round with every collection that you have, because it is your card shape. And when you look at how detailed the framework is on this, it's such a generic detailed pattern that you could use this for wedding, Easter, Valentine's, thank you, any occasion at all you could use this for. And it is such a good size die as well. You're getting a lot in there, really big. And the small one as well that you could use on its own to make a card shape too. But you do get that mechanism in there, so you can use it completely on its own like that and make some lovely frame cards. And you can do the same with the smaller one, but the design with this one is to make that stand-up easel. So you can see there's the mechanism there, and you've got your tabs, you've got the stoppers, you've got those 3D tabs there to really bring everything up like that, and that is what that will give you. So you have different options with that one, but like I said, so many different occasions as well that you could use that for. Then we go on to our small tokens. So you've got those two gardeners there that just look, they're such a warm, homely image. You've got the two gardeners there, one with that massive bouquet of flowers, and the other one where with the crates and the gift and the fruit and veg and the flowers there going in the garden. You get lots of decoupage with them, and again, they're a really nice size as well. I'm just going to turn it around because you can see the back of this is completely full with your decoupage. You've got the mats there as well for the gardener, so it is again another really nice size die that you've got in there. Then you've got around the allotment, so these are your perfect scene building elements, great little add-ins, tuck-ins to build those scenes up, and they really do bring those scenes to life and make all the difference. Then we have our two naughty squirrels that just look so cute, so incredibly detailed as well. You can see the one there with a little spade and the other one there sitting on that rock ready to get up to mischief. And then we go on to the local community. You've got that lovely little gnome there, look. He looks as if he sat there like sunning himself up. I think he looks naughty. Oh, Bunny doesn't think he does look naughty. Bunny thinks he looks I think he's done something naughty or mischievous, and then he's sat there with like a little grin, like smirking to himself that he's just done something that he shouldn't have done. You've got the home and garden there as well, and these have been sized in proportion. So if you pop these like behind the flowers or behind the gnome, behind the gardeners, they're going to look as if they are the shed or the home there in the distance. And then you've got homegrown, which are your perfect scene building elements, your grounding elements. You are going to use those. And I was saying in the earlier show, but so many different collections you can use them for, because they are flowers, so they're going to work with anything. You know, I can imagine the dogs and the cats behind them. I can imagine the different characters. You could put rabbits behind them, the chicks behind them. You could put absolutely anything with them and it will work perfectly. Now we also have in the show, which has been really popular as well, where, was it 50%? We are 50% of the stock of this has gone. So these are our frames. Now these are again on that show price for you. These are absolutely stunning. I adore these because I think you can use them again all year round. Different colorways, they're going to look completely different. These are big frames that you were getting. So you've got 3 outside layers there. So you've got your card base, your mat, your layer, and then you have that frame with that lovely door detail as well. So you can use these, and I will show you some of the samples. You can have the door where it opens, you can have the door closed, build that door up. You could even use the door completely on its own, but the actual detail and the foliage around the frame look amazing. And one of the things I was saying, if I didn't know, if I just cut this onto some white cardstock and cut that out, I wouldn't look at it and think, that's pears. I would absolutely use that for Christmas cards, for fairy cards. Like the first thing I seen when I looked at it was I thought of a hobby house. Like it didn't make me think of pears at all. It's just different things. You can use it for different occasions. So we do have the pears, we've got the plum peaches, and we've got the figs, which I have dubbed the Welsh one. I'm not going to leave Bunny ever let that one down. And then we've got our perfect papers as well. So we've got 48 sheets here of the A4. It's 300 GSM. You can see you've got the perfect palette there. If I just turn that upside down and pop that there, you can see the colorways you've got in just one of those florals in there. You could pull any color out and they just work so well. All of those colors coordinate. Now this one, you've got the solids. You've also got the like check gingham style, and then you've also got the Dainty Daisy in there as well. So you're going to get the solid, the Dainty Daisy, and that check in there, but really beautiful colours. Now let's go through the boards so we can see exactly what is in each one of these dies. So let's start off with the layered easel card. This, I keep saying it, but I just, every time I look at it, you were going to use this all year round. You know, just if you just think of it as a photo frame, it looks absolutely stunning, and there's nothing to stop you using this every occasion, all year round. Different colorways you can use this, because it is just such a nice pattern on there that doesn't, you know, it's not a floral, it's not a plum, it's not a peach, it's just a lovely generic pattern that you could use. So you've got your card base, your mat and layer, you've got that frame, and then you've also got the same for the smaller one as well. So you could even make little cards like this, which I just think looks so cute. Just like that, with your sentiment there in the background. And then obviously you've got the, I've got one here, the mechanism in there as well to give you that easel card, which looks absolutely beautiful. So different ways of using that. So you've got lots of different options in there, really easy to do. And like I said, every collection, any collection you've got, you can use that with. Then we've got all around the allotment. So you've got your fence in there that you can make longer if you want to. You could cut into this. You've got your chair, you've got posts, you've got the watering can, the bucket, you've got the hat, the bag. You've even got a little basket and a flower pot. You could add flowers into them as well. So again, so many elements in there you can build up into your scene, and they just work so well. Like that one I just showed you. Look, they've just got the little bag there hanging off the post, or off the chair. Just looks so lovely, doesn't it? They just fit in really, really easy. Then we've got a small token. So you've got your two gardeners, and you can see all of that decoupage to go on top. So you can really build these up. I'm just going to grab one we did. This is one we demoed in the earlier show, but look how much you can build them up, and they just look so 3D. Like that, built up with all those florals on. They look amazing. And the same, let me just grab, because that one's there. They look amazing. They're so detailed. So you can see exactly what those two will look like. What was it? Barbara and Tom. Oh, I remembered. And then we've got homegrown. These you're going to use with absolutely everything. These are your grounding elements. They're your seam builders. They are your little fillers. They are absolutely everything built into one. And they're florals as well. So all of those different collections that you've got, they are going to work with them. Then we've got home and garden. So you've got your home, or you could add in bits of white instead of the green. And that could be like a snowy cottage. So many different ways that you can mix that one up. And then we've got the sheds, or it could be the beach house, or it could be a glamping pod. Again, so many different ways you can do that. And these ones, I don't know what if you wanted to put like a seat or something in, but you can snip that door as well, and that door will open if you wanted to do that. Then we've got the local communities. We've got the lovely gnome, we've got those mushrooms there again to build into your scenes. That lovely post with the bird on. Bunny, I'm surprised you haven't told me what bird that is. Normally, Bunny will tell me the exact breed. She's going with wren. You're saying wren as if you're asking me, is it a wren? She's going to try and Google it, but if anybody knows, she's saying please message it and let us know. And then you've got your signs that you can use in so many different ways. Where was the one I did earlier? You can use them as signs on their own. You can pop them together to make a post. You can stamp onto them. Lots of ways you can mix and match those up. Then we've got our lovely squirrels. You've got one there with the spade ready to get into his gardening, and one there with the rock. Now that is the full collection of fruits of labour, but we do also have the frames as well. So the frames, you can see this one is the figs, or the Welsh one as I'm calling it. I can't, it's the first thing I see. You've also got some layers there as well, and then you've got the frame, you've got the door. If you missed any of the earlier shows and you're thinking, why am I calling it the Welsh one? Because that just looks exactly like the three feathers. And that's all I can see. Every time I look at it, that's what I see. So that's why. Now the doors on here, you can open them. So you can cut into those little bits that are holding that door together so that you can have the door open just like that. So you can do that. Or you can go in and actually build the doors up as well if you want to. So you could use them like this one. So you can see where we've gone in and just added in different layers to the frame. So you can build the door up and just make it pop a little bit more. I know we've seen samples where the design team members have used just the door on their own. So you've got lots of different options with these. And because of the size of them as well, you know, you have got your card base, your mat, your layer, and then the frame. So you could essentially just use those dies, do 2 cuts for the card base, 3, 4, 5 cuts with your dies. You're going to do 2 for the base, then you've got your mat, your layer, and your frame, and you've got a complete card. You could quite easily just add a sentiment onto there, and that could be a card complete. So really detailed, and a lot that you can do. I'm going to grab, oh, I almost knocked everything over. So that was my, ooh. Right, we've got one here by Sue. Now Sue has actually done that, so you can see how that will open up. How cute. So you can see how that just opens up, and you can see the home there in the background, which just looks really lovely. And then there's another one with the door as well. And that one's got the little, oh, the 2 squirrels. I was going to say the little squirrel, but there's 2 in there hiding away. Oh yes, Harvey and Harriet. So that was the names that we got for the squirrels. And I was saying that, so me and Bunny think that one's Harriet and that one's Harvey. So we got Harvey, Harriet, and Chi-Chi, the bird. I'm on the ball. Right, now we've got this one here. Sue did this one. Such a lovely card. I love the style of this. And you can see bringing in some of that'll either be the insert or the back in papers that you can get on the website as well. And then we've got, I don't think we've seen these ones yet. Oh no, these are new ones. So this one's by Barbara. Look at that, with the fences coming out. Really does open the card out, and you've got that like that because of the border on the bottom. That almost looks like it just like an arch. You could even cut, do you know, like that? So bear with me. If you cut that door out, so that was like an aperture. It does just look like a garden arch. And you could pop florals on there and it just looks like an archway in a garden, like a secret garden. Then we've got another one there. So this one's using the fig. And then actually I'm going to grab this one while we're doing that, because this one's obviously using the fig with the framework. And then this one, you've got the fig mat and layer there, but without the framework put on, which I just think looks really nice. That looks nice for like a mail card, because it's not too like, not too much. Yeah, one bunny's just said we get a lot of comments about people being uninspired with mail cards. So that's a nice one. And then I've got another one which I equally think would be great for a man's card as well. From Pam, that one is. I do love him. Right, let's grab my demo. And you can see the full collection that we have. This is the last show. So we did do some earlier. So if you watched earlier, we did say if there's anything you want to see, if there's any questions you want to ask, anything at all, then do message and Bunny will let me know. Or maybe she'll answer your questions. I still think we should get you mic'd up, Bunny. I mean, you don't know until you try it. She's saying no. Right, let's drink a card. Right, we're going to use the Plum Peaches frame. So I've used the outside mat, okay, and we've got this. This is going to be our card base, and I've used that lovely gingham style, almost like in a dusty pink colour that you get in the Perfect Papers. So this is what we're going to use as our card base. I'm going to stick this on there. And we're going to pop the white one on there. So let's pop some foam tape on here. And then we can raise this one up from the back. So if we just pop that on there and then pull this up, this is going to be the next layer that we've got on there. So this is your second layer in the die set that we're going to add in. So we're going to pop that one there, and then that same dusty pink, so you get the darker version and the light in the two colours. So I've gone in with the light one next. So we're going to add some tape onto here. And then this one is just going to be ever so slightly raised up from the back one then as well. And then I've got that lovely frame that I've got in white, so that's just going to bring those two colours together because I've got that white layer in the middle. Let's pop this on, and I'm just using this almost like my background. This is going to give me that really detailed framework in the back, but I've still got that lovely colour coming through in between. So let's stick that on there, and then let's build up our scene. Right, let's move that there. Right, so I've got my house. Now I'm going to kind of ignore the door for this, and so we're going to have a house there, and I'm going to put those garden huts there, so they go not on my finger there, so they're kind of like in the background, and then he is going to go there, so it looks as if they're in the background of the house, and obviously we've got them there. Right, let me stick those there. Right, and then we're going to bring in. Now, I love the idea. We've seen on one of the cards, one of the design team had actually put the watering can on his hand, but like, I've got this because I'm going to stick it on something else. But you could even put that on there as well. So he's like balancing the bag. Maybe he's got his tools or his seeds or something in there that he's coming back from the garden with, which I thought was just a nice idea. So let's build this one up. So I'm gonna start. Now, one of the things I will say, because I did say in the earlier show, that if you were somebody that struggled to, you know, put your dice together and build up your scene, to do what I'm doing and place things around and play around with it. Now, when I'm doing this on here, I'm doing it slightly different to what I do it at home, because I'm working from the back forward, which is harder. If I was doing this, if I was sat at home, so before I come here and I prep the demo, I always start with what I want at the front, if that makes sense. So I'll always, you know, if you imagine, maybe we'll put him there and we want him to be at the front. And then I work my way back, because then you can just like go like that, place these in, and kind of get an idea of how you want them to be. Because you can just move things around, place, and that's how I would do it at home. That's how I do it before I come here. Obviously, when I'm doing it here, I need to glue from the back coming forward. But like if I was doing it at home, just do that and then just like pick it up and put it there, and then you can just place everything exactly how you want it to be then. But you know, have a play around with it, and then don't stick anything until you're happy with the layout. And you know, if you are doing it maybe for the first time, you know, use your pin flare, because then you can still move things, you can still lift things up, tuck things under there, so it does make things a lot easier. So we do have pin flare on the website. And I'm going to add, so he is going to go about there. So I want to add that in there. So we're going to pop that there. How far down? We're going to add our mushrooms. These would be great with the fairies and things as well, just them on their own. Yeah, Halloween, autumn. Oh, Bunny, I bought pumpkins the other day. I did. They were little tea light pumpkins. They were only about that big, and they were so cute. So I was like, oh, I can't leave them there. I've got to buy them. And I came home, and my kid just looked at me like, it's not even the summer holidays, and you're buying a pumpkin. I was like, oh, but it was there, and it was so cute. I couldn't leave it there. All right, so I'm gonna add one of these in behind there to fill the back of that up. So then if I put him there, so you can see how that is starting to come together. Now we're going to pop him in next, because I want to add some things in front of him. So let's pop him in there. And then just add in some of the decoupage. I love that he's got a little present. I don't think I even noticed it straight away. It's one of those things that you don't see straight away. It's one of those that you notice. The more you look at it, the more you notice it about him. Add that in. And then we're going to add in this lovely bird on that branch. There. So we are really building this up. That in there like that. that is going to go there. He is going to go there. Like that. And then I've got another flower here, but I don't think I want to bring that in as well. I'm going to add a bucket here. Okay, so we've had a message of Amelia. Right, so Amelia's asked a question. You're going to have to say it again, Bonnie. She wants a tip on die cutting machines. Because she gets wobbly and waved look when using die cutting machines. And she wants it to be intricate like they are. So I would say that the machine that you're using, I think one of the things that we struggled with the most when, like, going back, when dies first came out, dies were a shape. Dies were just a circle, a square, a triangle. They were your basic shapes. And we would use them to, you know, to have our own toppers or a card shape at home. And obviously, as the years have gone on, now, you know, now dies look like this. And so obviously die machines have come on a long way as well. But I think sometimes the thing that we struggle with is, like, we expect everything to just die cut perfectly in one pass. You know, 9 times out of 10, yes, it absolutely will. But it does depend on what machine you're using. Now, 9 times out of 10, I am either using there you go. Right, so I am either using a cut emboss that I'll show you, so you know, because I've got one here. So you can either have one of these. So this is your electric one. So you've got that. That is, you know, the perfect amount of pressure. That will die cut perfectly. 9 times out of 10, you know, that will die cut in one go. For those really intricate dies, you know, we do have no, cut tidy. Cut tidy. So you might want to try a pack of cut tidy with your dies first. So whatever die cutting machine you're using, it might just be that the pressure is slightly off in the sandwich. You know, I've got a really old machine at home, okay, that I had to stop using purely because the pressure on it was completely off for dies like this that are really intricate. So, like, that machine had to go because dies had just come on such a long way that that machine didn't work for that purpose anymore. Obviously, maybe if I had tried it with cut tidy, it might have helped. Like, I didn't have cut tidy at that time, but I would say maybe a I don't know what the Sizzix one's called. If you want a handheld one, I can't remember what the Sizzix one is called. Or if you're going to the Doncaster show on the weekend, you might be able to get a die cutting machine from the Carnation stand. I don't know if I should be saying that, but Mark hasn't come in to shout at me yet, so well, yeah, there is. You might be able to get one there. So I would say have a go with a different machine. Maybe try some cut tidy first if you want to have a go and see if that makes a difference. Get some cut tidy. It might just be the pressure in the machine. The plates are slightly off. If the whole cardstock is going wobbly, it might be too much pressure in it. it's so hard. If you want, give me a message on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and I'll try and help you a bit more. It's hard to know exactly, you know, what the issue is without knowing like what machine it is or what sandwich you're doing. If you want to give me a message, then absolutely you can do that. But I would say it's gonna be the pressure, or it's going to be like it's an old machine and the pressure is slightly different now to like a newer die, or maybe it is something where you just need to add in an extra layer or something like that. But feel free to send me a message or even pop it into the Carnation group, because I'm sure whatever issue it is, somebody else will have had the same issue as well. Right, let's pop that. Oh, let's move him over a bit because that flower covers him up. Put that in there. He needs a little blob of glue on the back of his hat. There. And then let's add in my sentiment. Now this, in the earlier show, it was that long sentiment. What was the sentiment I used? I can't remember. Sent with happiness. And that was the other one as well. So you've got sent with happiness. You are wonderful, which is the one that Bunny was thinking of. And this one, which is sent with love. Those are the three that I was talking about that come in the Petals and Threads collection. So it's a really nice sentiment set to get. I'm going to pop that on there. So I've cut that out with the gingham cardstock from the Perfect Papers. And even though I've cut that out with the gingham, which I would say is a rule for me, I would not cut out words with a patterned cardstock. But because the pattern in there is so subtle, you still read the writing. It doesn't take away from the writing, so you can absolutely do that. And I've actually cut that out twice so that I can stick this one on top of the other one and really give it that 3D effect. So I'm going to just pop that on top of there and make that look a little bit more 3D. So you can see that, and then we'll pop that on the top there. Oh, we've had a message off Linda saying hers has arrived, so she's got Naughty Norman. He is forever going to be Naughty Norman now. It's stuck in my head. Like normally I am quite bad, I forget names, but Naughty Norman has stuck in my head, so he will be forever known as Naughty Norman. So now Bunny's agreeing with me. She says, seeing him there amongst the flowers, he does look as if he's up to no good. So she's getting on the same side now as he is a Naughty Norman. He's a cute Naughty Norman though. He's like, he's done something wrong and you want to shout at him but you can't because he's just like, he's too cute. It's like he knows he's done wrong but he knows he's got away with it. So you can see it there. So you can see the full collection there with Naughty Norman, your squirrels, you've got the easel card shape. There's so much in there that you can build up and have fun building those scenes and playing around with. We are going to do another demo, and this one I am going to use a card base because, like I said, I wanted to try and do, you know, your average card shape as well, and not because I felt like every card I was doing, it was like I was a bit worried of if the collection went or the frames went, all of my demos would be no good. So I have added in some of our usual card shapes too, but I think it's nice as well because you gauge the size more on of the actual dies, because this now is my A4 sheet of card just folded in half to give me my card base. And then I'm going to go in with the perfect paper. So I've got darker dusty pink colour that comes in the perfect papers. And then just add that on there. That's gone. Oh, so we've had a message off Audrey Brown, saying that she can't believe that she ordered this in the first show yesterday, and now she's sat at home making her first card with it today. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so nice, isn't it? And it's so exciting as well, making your first card with the collection. So exciting. It is. It's like a Christmas day. Nothing beats the delivery man coming, does it, with it. There's crafty parcels for us. Oh, and Annie has messaged in as well, saying what a lovely collection. Oh, thank you, Annie. It has this really, really lovely collection. I think it's because you can use it in so many different ways as well, though. It's like an all year round, so many different occasions that you can bring this in with. 'Cause the actual artwork, they could be for absolutely anything, couldn't they? You know, like Bunny was saying yesterday that it was that one, wasn't it? It was the gardener with the florals. You were saying could be like a wedding card, like she's delivering the flowers to the wedding. There's so many different ways that you can take the dies. So we've added in now this one is the daisy one, and you can see how lovely that looks, but it doesn't draw your eye away from anything. And then I'm going to add in, actually I'll stick this down, some white card. So let's add that in. So got that lovely daisy border there, and then you've got that dark pink there, what kind of just frames the card. And then let's pop that there. So this is gonna go here. So I know she's gonna go on this side. So I have flipped her. So using the mirrored vignettes, you can see that's how she would go, but I want her to be the other way. So flip her around, and she's gonna go there. And then we're gonna build up the scene along here. So we're gonna add these in, and I'm going to flip that, so that's going to go there. And I'm also going to bring in this in the back, so let me just leave that there, so I kind of know what level I'm on. Right, so I've got my home, and I've also got 2 of the garden sheds, or the garden homes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use foam pads for a minute. I'm going to put a little foam there and there. And then what I'm going to do is pull them off, and then we're going to stick that there, and that one there. You could easily just put that, like take that away, pop that onto a card, and just put like new home, and that would look so nice, wouldn't it? Just like that. Absolutely. That is going to go there. Right, so we're going to stick this in. That's going to give us that border. So let's pull that off there, and then the house is going to be slightly elevated compared to the garden huts or sheds or man cave. Oh, it could be your crafting. Don't people have those like little crafting rooms, craft huts in the garden? It could be that. Right, we're going to pop that there. And then, right, so we've got that. Yep. Right, we've got that one in there. She is going here. Now we're going to bring in our floral beds. I'm going to pop these two about there. So let's, I'm going to glue these two together actually. So it's like one layer. I'm just going to pop them there like that. So you've got that. I think those look really good together. They just flow really nicely together, don't they? We're going to add, right, let's add this in so I know where I'm going. So if we pop her in there like that, and then we can add in our flowers next. And then this is one of the nice things about if you do use Pinflair, you've got that wiggle time, so you've got time to go, like if you put that there, you could pick it up and go, oh no, I want it further down, oh I want it further up. You can still, whereas if you went in with foam, you know, you're probably going to rip it, pulling it back up, but you've also got more height in there as well, and you can have them over different layers. Right, we're going to go in, let's stamp this in first. So I've got Scent with Happiness. That again could be absolutely any occasion. There they are. Oh. So we'll add that in. So that one in there. And this is going to sit along the bottom, so just so I know roughly where that's going to go. So we've got our florals. I'm going to add in my decoupage here so I know I've added these in. Don't do what I do. Remember to flip your decoupage when you're using the mirrored vignettes. So add that in there. And same with this one. Just give that a little shape. Pinflair. And pop that in there like that. And then I've got some flowers. Now I've got one of these, and then I've also got another one that I've just snipped in half again. So you've got those two halves of that. So now you could pop like this part here, you're only seeing under there. So when I put that in there, that's just brings that along, and it just, that flow goes with it. So I'm gonna put this bouquet there like that to fill that little gap up. Then add in the sentiment there, and then that little bit that I just showed you, we're just going to tuck that in there like that. And now that grounds that bit and kind of closes that off, but I've just used that tiny little bit. I'm going to do the same here, so I'm going to add this in there like that. Bring those flowers in, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing here on that side, and I'm just going to tuck that in, because that almost just closes off, because that just flows with the bottom of the sentiment, so that kind of just brings everything in and grounds everything off. Do you want to add in anything else? don't know. I wasn't going to. No. No. We're leaving it. No. Bunny shouting in my ear. No. There you go. So that one, I do not. Bunny's just said that I make her out to be really bossy. I don't think I do. Well, do you know what, Bunny? You make me feel really shocked. Anyway, this one, you can see we've gone really in here with the flowers. You've got that lovely scene in the background with the home or the sheds, or like we said, it could be like your craft hut, it could be beach huts, it could be glamping pods, there could be so many things. You can mix and match this up, but that lovely scene there with the flowers all built in with the gardener, you can really bring them in. I'm going to grab some more of the design team ones. I have got some there. I don't know if that's the one. Did we do, was that one in this show or the earlier show? Okay. So Bunny's just asked if I can just flick through the cards that I've done. Let me just put them ones there because they're wet. So this is the one of the ones we did in the earlier show, and that was, we did like an offset shadow with the framework that was from the pears frame, so you can see how that one comes together. And then we've got that one there with the small token, the plum peaches framework that you can see there. I love though how you can bring in craft card and it makes it look really earthy and natural, but then you can do it like in white and the colours, and it just looks really fresh and clean and summery. So there's so many different ways that you can do it. We've got one there. Oh, I do like him. I think he's such a cheeky. Then we've got, I do, and I think it's because his name is stayed as well. Like, I'm terrible with names, but Norman has stuck. I do. I really like the post with the bird on it as well. Chi-Chi, that's it. So cute. And again, though, I think you could use that for Christmas time, lots of different occasions as well. So that one using the easel one, but like as a frame. And then we've got the card base there, bringing in your background, using the, so those are the signs from the local community that you can use in lots of different ways. You've got your gardener there, like bringing in his fruit and his veg, his florals, his gifts, and you can see how you can add in your flowers as well to the pots to bring those in. Oh, did we show the one where we put the hat on the squirrel? I was like, I don't remember seeing that. That's mine and Bunny's favourite, yeah. The little hat on the squirrel. But you can go really like allotment themed with these. I think like this one, we went in with all of the flowers to really do like a florally type of card. And I just think that looks so pretty. Again, you could use that for so many different occasions. Then even like a smaller card like this one. We've got this one here, so using that frame as a frame instead of using it as an easel card. Then we've got that one there, really cute. And then this one, which is using that fig frame, but actually not using that framework and just using the mats and layers. And then obviously we've got the ones that we've just done in this show. Let me grab the boards. Let me just swap these around, and then I can put the boards there and put the cards there. There you go. Oh, they're upside down, Bunny. I thought I'd get in there before you did. Alright, let's turn them around. Right, so this one is the easel. So this is the layered easel card. So you can see you've got that lovely frame that you could use on its own, use the smaller one as a card base, or layer them up and make it into that easel. You've got the easel mechanism there, you've got your stoppers, you've even got the tabs to build in those 3D elements into that. Then you've got the around allotments, so you've got all of those key pieces that you can bring in just to build that scene. You can see there, even just adding in like the chair, the little cap on with the bucket there, you can really bring the scenes to life with these. Or you could add the little hat onto the little squirrel and bring them in. And then we've got the a small token, so you've got your two gardeners there. I think that'd be so nice for like a, you know, like a couple retiring, or like an anniversary card, you know, of a couple, and they love spending their time in their garden and they're keen gardeners. I think it's just such a lovely image, especially with the two of them together. And then we've got homegrown. These I use in so many different collections and completely independently. They are such a good die set to get. They're perfect for your scene building, your grounding elements. You've got your decoupage there, so you could even build these up to be the main point of your card as well. Then we've got home and garden. So you've got your home and your sheds. They could be, you know, your little craft room, your little pods in the garden. And again, the home, you can mix that up, use it as a Christmas cottage and things like that as well. So great to go in the background, because they have been sized smaller, so they will fit in those background scenes perfectly. The local community, so you've got your gnome, you've got that lovely post there with the bird on, and you've got your signs that you can stamp in, and the stamps as well. All the cards that I just went through that I have done, the stamps I've used, they're all from the Clean and Simple range, so they'll fit in those lovely. And then we've got the little squirrels. So these are your two little squirrels. You've got one there with the spade and one there on the rock, ready to get up to mischief. So that's your full Fruit of Labour collection. And then we've got our frames. So you've got the figs to start off with. So you've got the mats and layers there to go behind. We did show you cards, you know, just using the mats and layers, the bases as the actual card, which look just as pretty, having that unique design there to the base. But then you've got that framework with the doors in. Each one of the doors as well, you can cut them if you want. So you can snip one side of it, so those doors will actually open for you, or you can obviously leave them as they are. But they are so detailed to have those like that, just even in white cardstock put on, they just look so incredibly detailed. And you can layer those up and build in lots with these. But like I said as well, lots of different occasions you can use those for. There could be a fairy door, tooth fairy, a hobbit house. It could be, you know, like wizards, and there's just so many different ways that you could use them. Because for me, until I came into the studio and I actually seen that they were figs and pears and peaches, to me they were just lovely foliage ornate frames that you could use with any of your flowers, any scenes at all, especially fairies. You could build these in with. You could even just cut those out and just have any of your characters behind them, any of the mice. You know, you can have the door open and then one of the mice is there having a party inside the little house. So lots of different ways that you could use them. I will say thank you so much if you have joined me and Bunny today. If you've messaged in, commented on any of the shows that we've done, thank you so much for joining us. I am going to be back on Hobby Maker. I want to say 3 p.m. I think it's 3 p.m. tomorrow. I will be on Hobby Maker with the brand new collection, so with the Fruit of Labour. So if you want to see more demos and more inspiration from the collection, then please do join me tomorrow. I am on for 2 shows. I think it's 3 and 7. I'm going to say the first one's definitely 3. I'm going with 3 and 7. Bunny's just agreeing with me. She hasn't got a clue. And then next is Tuesday, isn't it? Next Tuesday, me and Bunny are going to be back in this studio here, and we're going to be joined by somebody else, and it's going to be a very exciting day next Tuesday, and I don't think I can even say anything else, and I haven't been told that I can say anything else. So all I'm going to say is do not miss next Tuesday. I'm sure there will be hints and tips and little sneak peeks before then, but do not miss next Tuesday. We are 10 and 2 next Tuesday, so different time. So 10 and 2 next Tuesday. Do not miss the shows that we have then. You will not want to miss them, okay? Right, so thank you so much for joining me and Bunny today. Hopefully I will see you on Hobby Maker tomorrow. If not, we will see you